Welcome back to World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade Classic Blind. This is not my flying mount. We are on a flight path. Heading here. Watcher Jang has a quest for us under there. Well, you learn something new. Anyways, we are over here at Orbor Harborage, because I want to do a little bit of fishing. And where better to fish than any of the random water here in Zangarmarsh. Fishing skill is doing very poorly since we've really not bothered with it. Mostly due to the everlasting frond here. We've just been able to not need to fish at all, really. I brought my bright baubles from the bank. Increases fishing by 75. So that should help a little bit. As far as places to fish, I figure Zangarmarsh is probably the right choice, since Hellfire Peninsula is the first area, but is devoid of fishing locations. Unless we can fish in the poison or whatever this was. That's full of slimes, so that's not ideal. So then the second area would be Zangarmarsh. I think we fished a tiny bit here to get from 300 to 309. That was probably more over at Cenarian Refuge. So, we will see if this works. Ah, the baubles. Anyway, fishing pole plus some. Go fishing. Ultimately, having more fish isn't bad. There's a barbgill trout. Not very valuable. Water too shallow. Let's try fishing from the bridge here. I guess a lot of the water here is too shallow. Okay. But I should fish one spot. Let's head over towards Serpent Lake then. I think if we fish off of the Coilfang Reservoir here, we'd probably be doing okay. Not too many enemies at that level, so we might be able to get away with that. And I guess we could also go down and see what this quest is. We're gonna do Serpent Lake. What we got here? Sporefish. I don't mind particularly what kind of fish we find. I'm trying to fly straight into the water and it's not doing anything. We've got the frenzy fish. That's great. We should probably put our sword back on. Ah. Oh, these fish. Alright. Yes, I'm gonna get the adamantite. Obviously. We need a lot more adamantite. We can just grab some. That's good. Also, let's try not to drown. That's also probably a good idea. We got there. Can we... Nope, cannot use that while swimming. Okay. As expected. That's another sporefish school. Could see if sporefish are a good choice. I'll just fish some whatever over here. We go fly up into the magic. That's also an option. That sounds fun. We can get up here now. Cool. We can just fly up into the magic. Amazing. Let's head down here. One of these lower platforms. Closer to the water. I don't think anything's going to be able to attack us from here. No, like the hydras or whatever is down there. This should be good. Fish and rod back on. And this is plenty deep for some fish catching. Another one of those. Barbed gill trapped. Not very worth it. Hopefully we can find some better catches than this. There's also the question of anything we get some cooking level from here. Here's the, yeah, these are barbed gill trout. That make the blackened trout that we have right here. So interesting that it doesn't have very much value. Would be a reasonable way of training cooking. Make the blackened trout. There's a spore fish. That's a bit more valuable. As far as getting any cooking levels out of this, we would need to find some furious crawdads. And whether that can be found here is unknown to me. We seem to be catching the fish well enough, so that's good. It's just gonna be a situation of having to catch X many fish to get another fishing level. Or these sporefish are nice, though. Could maybe go to a sporefish location. Seems to be slightly more valuable. Maybe make some money here. But as far as fish-based recipes, we got this one that also uses the trout. There's all 10. 310 even. That's a bit more work, though. Apples, raptors, crawdads. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to get some fishing levels here. I'm not going to go all the way for 375 or anything, because that'd be quite a bit of fishing. I think I'll do just a bit of this. These spicy crawdads being a higher level recipe makes me think there's a good possibility that we're going to have to fish in a different location for that. There's that lake near Shatrath. Waterways in Terakar. Plenty of lakes and stuff in Nagrand. No, those are really super high level areas, though. Probably higher level than here, at least, though. So it could be better fishing opportunities there. Oh, there's a new one. A spotted felltail. Not worth much. Just because something's rare doesn't necessarily mean it's worth anything. Depends on the utility, really. What are the spore fish used for? Presumably something. Presumably something. And then there's also every possibility that there's more fish-based recipes that we haven't unlocked. That is entirely possible. Yeah, these ones are only worth a few copper. Maybe that's really worth bringing to the auction house. Realistically. Seems pretty cheap. I was sitting here, fishing, watching people dive into the reservoir. Very good. And there's 311. Yeah. For fishing, it really seems like you just eventually get a level. Kind of like weapon skills, where you do it enough times and it just kind of happens. Are there potentially more efficient ways to do things? Almost definitely. Like a specific location where you should fish to get the best fish or the most fish or something. Or if a higher level area, you need to catch less fish. Who knows? I'm sure a lot of people know. But yeah. Probably just going to hang out here for at least a few more levels. Probably use a couple baubles. I think we can get more of these from a shop. So that's fine. Yeah, I should probably still be using the fishing boosts here. Give myself a better chance. Since we're really starting with basically the base level in fishing. For all of the Outland. So spicing that up will help. But yeah. I was going to fish for a bit. Then we can move on to actually doing something. Which is going to be diving down here and seeing what that quest is about. But I'm not gonna have you sit here and watch all the fishing. Total value of this is currently 3 gold, so that's something. Not too much. Like, a fraction of a quest's worth of gold. But also I'm just sitting here fishing, so that's okay. So I'll be back when I am done doing some fishing. Okay. Well, that should be enough for now. 109 of these trout. 25 of these felltail. 33 of the sporefish, which are actually worth something. And we also got a huge felltail, which is one of the fish you can wield. Which is great. We've got bank space now, so we can actually keep that. So that'll be fun. So we got some scales we can just sell to a shop. But these are okay. It's like 11 gold. Yeah, could be worse. Basically a quest there. For getting 325 fishing. So that's okay. I think next time that I do some fishing, I'm going to go somewhere else. Possibly to Nagrand. See if we can get some variety and all that. I'm going to head down here into Qualifying Reservoir to see about that quest marker we saw. Should be in here. And we should easily be able to make it through here without drowning. That's the theory, at least. Okay. And here he is. Or, here's somebody with a quest marker, at any rate. What do you got for me? Is somebody hanging out over there?
I am honored.
The Warlord's Hideout. There are benefits to hiding very, very quietly at the entrance of your enemy's hideout. Just hours ago, I saw a group of Naga go through the stone archway on the second tunnel from the left. I'm not well versed in the language, yet I clearly understood one word. Calathresh. That has to be the entrance to the Steam Vaults, where Warlord Calathresh has been commanding his troops from. We must find him and stop him. Too weak to have any assistance. So find and slay Warlord Calathresh inside Coilfang Reservoir. The Steam Vaults, they say. Interesting. 28 gold. Second archway from the left. So it's not going to be through this main door. I think that's where the raid or whatever would be. I will accept your quest. To go into the Steam Vaults.
Good luck, friend.
Let's see what that looks like on here. It's gonna be in the Steam Vault. Yeah, it's just a dungeon. Warlord's Hideout. Okay. So now we have dungeon quests for the Shadow Labyrinth, which we have access to since we got the key. We have this one back in Old Hillsbrand. We have a raid quest, which is another question. At Coilfang Reservoir. Well, we're at Coilfang Reservoir. So the question is, which of those locations is going to have Lady Vashj? Who knows? Could be any of them. Could even be in the Steam Vaults. Presumably this is a higher level quest, so that makes sense to chain that into a raid. This one's complete. Alright. So that's what's in here. Steam Vaults. Level 61 to 77, you say? Oh, I gotta get... Meaning stones have numbers. The numbers don't mean anything, though. 77? Wacky. Let's filter this. We can add Steam Vaults to our list. Still haven't found a Botanica, but also we still haven't been to multiple zones, so that's fine. I think Karazhan's the first raid, so presumably the ones before that are not raids. So I think we're still okay. Except for the one we have that is a raid, but that's a problem for later. Battle for Mount Hyjal, I believe it was. There's a lot of stuff in here. Anyways, well, that is good for here. Let's see if we can manage to leave Coilfang Reservoir successfully. We've had lots of problems with that in the past. Yeah, right down here. And then we will head on over to the north, do some quests, all that. But first we need to find a shop. We'll probably be able to find one in Orbor Harbridge. Take the flight path to Sylvanar. And we can go from there. Seems like a reasonable plan. See if we can find somewhere to stand right around here. So that would speed this whole thing up immensely. Right here? Maybe? I stand on you? Yes. Well, that's very convenient. If we fly to Orbor Harbridge from here, it's probably the fastest way. And then from there, over to Sylvanar. Then we can go... Maybe we'd actually want to fly to the Evergrove. that'd probably be where we want to be. We just get on the flight path here. Oh, sell stuff and then get on the flight path. And then we can look at what quests we want to do. I don't think trying to sell any of these on Anachronist is really super worthwhile. Like, all this together would be less than a gold. Doesn't look like it's going to have very much demand at all.
How are you?
Browse your supplies. You get 100 fish. Yeah. Even though it's a lot more on the auction house, it's still not a lot. We are dealing in sub-silver values here. Just one of these random drops we got is worth as much as an entire stack of these fish. So. And we don't need these for cooking or anything. So I'm fine with that. I will be keeping the big fish though.
See you later.
That's just fun.
Kronakai Christor.
Alright. Evergrove. Alright. Let's grab a few here. Probably just start from the top. Ruinok Claws. Arakoa of Runwield. Yep. Let's see if we can grab any other Arakoa quests. During at the Bloodmaw camp. Negotiate with the Overseer. If we find them walking around. Right, patrol between the various camps in Ruinwield. So that's in the area at least. Bloodmaw guys. Over the hills. Over the hills again. Same place. And then the Highland quests. Okay. So these ones are just right up here. So that's a good start. Probably would have been an idea to actually head over to the Sportfish schools. Don't know if those have a limited amount or anything. Eh. That's up there. Here's this whole place. Circle of Blood? My goodness. It's a PvP area. Okay. They're up here. In this area. I think we'll want speed for this one. Because we need to run around to the various camps to find this negotiator. Well, negotiate with the Overseer. You? Yeah, it's you. Hey. I found you. The Blade's Edge Mountains are a place of great opportunity. How unfortunate that some deem themselves above all others on matters that pertain to taking advantage of such opportunities. Who does the Cenarian Expedition think they are to tell us what we can and cannot do here? Overseer, I'm here to negotiate on behalf of the Cenarian Expedition. Negotiations? Negotiations? Allow me to make our stance perfectly clear. We are a free people, able to do whatever we want, and come and go as we please. The Cenarian Expedition does not own this mountain range. There will be no negotiations. Now go back to the Druids and tell them we will continue to do as we please. While we're getting attacked by this guy. Oh, you wouldn't net me in right away. Two over here with this guy. Whirlwind. It works. Okay. So the negotiations were short and entirely unsuccessful. I'm not exactly surprised.
What brings you here?
So what are we going to do about that? What? They dismissed you and our proposal out of hand? This is outrageous. You go to them in good faith. They turn you away without even trying to come to a compromise. Well, we'll see about that. Oh boy. And a time for action. A time for negotiation and a time for action. There we go. We will not stand idly by while they decimate the ruined world around us. First priority must be to the trees. Warrior, I want you to go back out into the world and deliver a very different message for us. I want you to slay every one of their hewers that you come into contact with. They will not listen to reason. Perhaps they will listen to a more assertive method of persuasion. Trying to ruin Weald and slay 10 worm cult hewers. Then return to the tree warden at Everforge.
May the eternal sun shine upon you.
Hello.
And you have a quest for poaching the poachers. Pardon me, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with John. I'd like to help. I'm studying the Blackwing Coven and helping the druids in their dealings with them. I'm very interested in acquiring a few of their dragon whelps. It would help us to gauge exactly what we're up against by understanding that which they revere. But first, we're going to acquire some nets. I noticed that the worm cult poachers on Runeweald have an abundance of them. Acquire 5 worm cult nets. And return to the Grove.
Farewell.
So this is the kind of situation where if we were negotiating, they probably still wouldn't give us the nets, so. We're just gonna be a little assertive here.
What is nature's call?
Went to my camera a lot there. We got poachers and hewers. Perfect. Do I need a buff for these guys? Probably not really. I will anyways. It's not like we have a shortage of dense sharpening stones. Some agility. Let's get some spirits, fine. Agility's more useful. I'll take a less valuable well-fed buff for dealing with these guys. Just a couple HP bonus. Not bad. Okay. We got multiple guys on us. That's fine. Oh, you would use a net. I'm not gonna miss fighting these guys with their nets. There's 2 nets already. Perfect. And some cloth. We're a little bit low on health here. Should probably heal a bit. And they also have a net. Oh wow, they killed me. Yeah. What happened there? A Broodling's Fireball. And a Whirlwind. If we get hit by a Broodling. Were they aggressive on me from behind the tree? Well, that's unfortunate. Should have healed. Should have healed. Also, that clears our well-fed buff we just got. So that's fantastic. Melee, Poacher, Hewer, Fireball. Where is this Fireball? Awkward. Another! What happened to me? Never doing damage. I think it was just another of the fire guys from behind. Maybe we were getting shot too. Yeah, the poacher was attacking us. And so was the broodling from behind the tree. Okay. Well, that makes sense. They're just standing behind the tree, shooting me through the tree. Well, that makes sense. He's whirlwinding too. Can't be having that. And now we're dead. I don't like you very much. There's another net, though. Here with a pod here. We need many more hewers than we need the nets. Yeah, but these little worm cut cult broodling dragon guys. Definitely worth investigating. Oh, they got like a little camp over there.
Not enough.
You come over here. Or I can fight you by yourself. Let me just use this all the time. How about that a better hotkey then? $30, always time. Last 10 seconds. Immune to fear sap and incapacitation. Generate extra rage. Now we're too close. Oh, we're generating so much rage. It's out of control. Another net. Battle shot going. Yeah, we're not fighting a bunch of guys at the same time. Things work better. Yeah, he's whirlwind. This is on. Minus. Score protection. Cool. Too close or too far? I don't know if we really need too much additional rage, really. For the most part, we seem to be just covered in rage. Immune to fear, sap, and incapacitation. That's something. When taking damage is when it happens. Okay. Interesting. We also got a note here. So that could be something. Whirlwind, whirlwind, whirlwind. I got whirlwind too.
That ability isn't ready yet.
Isn't even ready yet. More rage isn't bad, though. Let's make some more pods. Seven is a doable reach when most mainly dealing with 4. That's quite the ways, though. I could rebind a whole bunch of things, but so many of the actual letter keys actually do something. They're just kind of be awkward. Any hewers in here? We do. We're gonna get attacked by the other guys. Yes. Alright, we're gonna get some more rage here. Yeah, when we get hit by a whole bunch of guys at the same time, more rage is a pretty big deal. Okay. Ocean.
Too far away.
Yeah, all grouped together like that. They don't mess around. Seeing an ore down below. I'm gonna go get that. Cursed Hollow, huh? Oh, it's right behind him, huh? This is a great spot for mining. Ideal. Fantastic. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. We also have a meeting note here. That begins a quest. Did you get the note? The cultists dropped this note, which apparently was to be delivered to Overseer Noir. It's signed by someone named Colphus Darkscale. It's likely that Tree Warden Chon will be interested in looking at this. We can't actually read the note. Presumably we'll get to read it when we give it over to the person. Head back up here. Still need 3 more hewers. Then we'll have all these guys done. Poacher. If we can get the hewers away from the other guys, it's definitely better for us. Charging in there. It seems like the little dragons have a larger range overall. Ah yes, the stun from intercept. That does slow things down slightly. Got some cheese. Awesome. It's gonna run through town. There we go. Strategy. One more hewer. So we got the guards to fight him. That was my intention there. That was my idea. Strategy. Okay. Another basic food item from the cheese. I can work with that. Still working on our weapon skills here. 1 more in pole arms, 3 more in defense. Yep. Find an undefended hewer. If possible. There's a hewer. Also got those guys nearby though. There we go. Outraged Ravenwood saplings. I bet they are not happy about the whole chopping down the trees going on. That makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Go over here and grab this adamantite. And more motes of earth. Okay. And that is all those, except for this pendant. The pendant was more up with the Arakoa, though. We've just been doing stuff around here with the worm cult guys. So that's fine. Okay.
Hey there.
Poaching the poachers. Completed. How's the procurement of nets coming along? I've seen those nets that the poachers use should be strong enough for the task at hand. Well, they're strong enough to stop me for a little bit, so I'd say so. Oh, those look splendid. These cultists certainly have an eye for craftsmanship. Too bad for them that it's misdirected. And now that we have the nets, would you be willing to help little old me with a thing or two? Well, I suppose. Whelps of the worm cult. I need to examine the whelps that they are raising at Blackwood Coven. There should be an abundance of them flying around inside their cavernous base, as well as a number of eggs, which if you get close to them will likely hatch. Please, Eric Erickson, take the net and capture a handful of them alive for me. Find them and hang west across the Wormskull Bridge, heading through Wormskull Tunnel. Follow the path to its end past Grishnath and the Raven's Wood. Capture 10 Worm Cult Black Whelps.
Be careful.
I can do that. And we got 2 quests with the Tree Warden here. Thank you, Eric Erickson. While we'll see to it that the wildlife will replenish itself in quick order, regrowing the trees, especially in a natural fashion, is a much more time-intensive process. And we have a choice of rewards. Hewing gloves, cloth with stamina, intellect, and magic. A belt with hit rating, crit rating, and attack power. Compared to the one we have, it's got a tiny bit more armor. It has hit rating. That's an option. The critical strike rating is pretty impressive. The attack power is about half. Well, a little bit more than half. And it has no stamina. The critical strike rating and hit rating, though, it's pretty good. So that's an option. We got some bracers with intellect, critical strike, and attack power. The attack power is half, the critical strike is double. Intellect is useless. So, eh. And a plate shoulders with strength, stamina, spell crit, crit, and magic. Less, less, less. Similar critical strike, but still less overall. So definitely not those two. Basically here, Boost critical. Ah, that's like 9 more critical strike rating by trading in 9 strength and 10 stamina. Nah. This belt, though. Our belt is already leather, so we're not losing a huge amount on armor in this case. It's got hit rating, which is something. The critical strike rating, we've seen that 1 critical strike is worth like at least an agility. So that's actually a pretty big increase in critical strike. And the attack power, literally -9 strength. So -9 strength for -9 strength and -16 stamina for +11 hit rating, plus like 14-ish or more crit rating. Let me take a look at that. It's not the most valuable overall. Still okay though. And then this one about the note. What's that you have there? Is that a blood stain on that note? This is interesting, but disturbing. I wonder if Samia knows who this Culfist Darkscale is. Oh, he's talking to Sammy right here. You know who Cultist Darkscale is? Second in command of the Worm Cult at Blightwing Coven to the west. There you go. Wormskull Watcher. I'm not certain what we should do. I'm not much of a military planner. Watcher Moonshade will know what to do. He's heading up our defensive efforts at the Wormskull Tunnel to the west end of Wormskull Bridge. We were forced out there just in case the cultists try anything funny. Take this note to him with all due haste. There's a meeting note to Watcher Moonshade at the entrance to the tunnel.
Walk with the earth, mother.
And another note we can't actually read. It's okay. Let us see about this belt. Tree Warden's belt. It is earthy tones. Look at the stats here. 178.7, 23.3, 177.3, 24.2. It also has hit rating. 3.3, 4. 4% is a pretty solid amount to get to. You have to remember that our damage is also slightly different than it used to be, because we have our sharpened right now. So 1.4 damage per second down, though. It's gonna be about 1%. But also, like, another 0.8 to crit chance. Slightly less armor overall, since this is critical strike rating instead of agility, so it doesn't give more armor. Much more crit chance, though. Good with the hit rating. I can go with that. I think that should basically solve the hit rating for now, though, so that's nice. If I didn't care about the hit rating, which one would I go with? This has far more equivalent critical rating, but not the armor from the agility. Much less stamina. Much less base DPS. They're all fine, though. That should be okay. Alright. This might just go into the pile of other gear we could possibly switch out. Depends if we find just much better things that also have hit rating. Just a whole nother thing to have to go pros and cons. Yeah, less attack power, less armor, less stamina, but more critical strike and hit rating. And it's a significant amount more critical strike too. Up to 24.2% chance to crit. My goodness. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So we still have this one here to do with the Arakoa. And then we got quite a few quests heading over the bridge over to this section. We'll probably head that way. Next time. Goodbye.